In the wake of Argo's big win on Oscar night, some of the actual hostages who were held in Iran are hoping the renewed attention helps them win compensation for their struggles. NBC's national investigative correspondent Michael Isikoff has details on this story. Michael, good morning.
Savannah, good morning. The Oscar-winning film Argo, with its gripping account of the escape of 6 Americans from Iran, is refocusing attention on Capitol Hill to the real-life Iranian hostage crisis of 32 years ago. It's a story for which, so far, there has not been a happy ending. The Best Picture Oscar for Argo, director Ben Affleck's movie celebrating the CIA's rescue of 6 U.S. Embassy employees from post-revolutionary Iran, is reviving efforts for long-delayed justice for the Americans who were left behind and held hostage for 444 days beginning in 1979.
This is an act of terrorism, totally outside the bounds of international law and diplomatic tradition.
The hostages went through a horrifying ordeal, brutally interrogated, kept naked in cells in sub-freezing temperatures.
They stood me up, blindfolded me, tied my hands behind my back.
Steve Kirtley was one of those hostages, then a Marine Corps guard, twice subjected to mock executions, an experience briefly depicted in Argo.
I thought that was going to be shot right there.
Kirtley and other former hostages are still angry over their treatment and want compensation from the Iranian government.
This is a big fish, and the big fish is accountability. That what was done at this point, they got away with it.
Until now, the hostages' efforts have been blocked by a 1981 agreement known as the Algiers Accords that led to the hostages' release. U.S. officials reluctantly agreed the hostages couldn't sue their former captors. But thanks in part to Argo's publicity, there's a new effort in Congress to bypass that agreement.
It's literally like having a gun to your head and giving up your rights. That's why now is the perfect time, when this movie has created so much attention, to educate the American people about what they went through.
A bill to be introduced in the next few weeks by Congressman Bruce Braley, with dozens of co-sponsors, would create a special $400 million fund to compensate the hostages, using the proceeds of fines paid by companies that violate U.S. sanctions against Iran. It will be a relief none too soon for the former hostages.
People remain upset, and then every year, we're up to 12, we watch someone else pass away.
I don't want to go to any more memorial services before this is settled.
Sponsors of that new bill say they are confident that should it pass, there'll be more than enough money to compensate the former hostages. That's because they expect the number of companies hit with fines to increase thanks to tighter U.S. sanctions aimed at pressuring the Iranians over their nuclear program. Savannah?
All right, Michael Isikoff in Washington, thank you.